What's going on, everybody? Here with the live review this time. Decided to switch it up on you. This fucking sun won't go away. God, it's like glaring right in front of my face. But I hope you guys come in, be able to answer your questions. So, the year of Randy Orton is on his way to being no more. He's lost twice in a row now. And he's looking very, very, very weak. Very weak. So, I don't know what WWE is thinking there. But hold on, guys. It's just a little loud with the music. Let me, okay. Felt like I was screaming. But yeah, the year of Randy Orton is starting to go downhill. He beat everybody. He was looking strong. All just to not be able to get past Drew McIntyre. That's one takeaway I got of it. But I would also say that this is the best Roman Reigns it's ever looked. And I was really happy with the way that ended. As long as they keep going that way, he should be fine. Whoever produced that match, most likely Paul Heyman, I'm all for it, man. So that was good. The ladder match was awesome. Got my Red Bull to stay fired up here. And Randy Orton match was okay. Felt like it dragged out a little too long though. But other than that, there was the Randy Orton "This Is Your Life" was kind of entertaining. Nothing could be worse than Bailey "This Is Your Life." Trust me on that. Nothing can be worse. But well, instead of waiting for people to come in, I'm just gonna get started on this review. Got my little notepad here. If anyone comes in to chat, I'll definitely shout you out. So the kickoff show had the Shinsuke Nakamura and Cesaro versus Lucha House Party. Whoop the freaking la do. I didn't watch kickoff show. I don't do kickoff shows. But if you really want to know who won, in case I don't know where the hell you've been, if you haven't figured that out, Nakamura and Cesaro defeat the Lucha Crap Party. Apparently, this was a good match, but I just don't care. I really don't care about the Lucha Crap Party. Then we had the ladder match: Jeff Hardy versus Sami Zayn versus AJ Styles. This was awesome. You could tell there wasn't a lot of pipe noise during this match because it actually felt genuine, and I really enjoyed everything that happened during that match. So, as expected, ladders were brought into the ring very quickly, with Hardy taking the first big bump of the match, diving onto an upside down open ladder after Styles sidestepped. That was part of Styles being the dominant offensive force early in the match, bouncing Zayn off a ladder in the corner as well. Styles also threw Hardy from the ladder early, as both men were climbing toward the titles, but that was not enough to keep Hardy down. Zayn hit an exploder on Styles onto a ladder as the brutality continued. There was a great moment where Zayn was alone in the ring, climbing a ladder, before Styles threw a ladder like a javelin from the outside of the ring to knock him to his canvas. Why they say canvas, I don't know. Hardy would eventually hit Zayn with a twist of fate before climbing the ladder, seemingly ready to grab the titles before Zayn started to tip the ladder over. Hardy tried to climb down the other side of the ladder upside down, but took a nasty spill to the floor in the process, one of the most innovative bumps in a match full of nasty spills. Hardy eventually drove Zayn through a ladder suspended between the announce table and ring apron with a swanton from the top of another ladder, so he did his traditional spot. Zayn pulled a pair of handcuffs out. Now this is where it got interesting. He used one to tie Hardy to a ladder, putting the other end of the handcuff through Hardy's ears piercing. Ouch. As he tried to handcuff Styles to the rope, Styles attacked him, so Zayn handcuffed his own arm to Styles, leading Styles to knock him out and tried to climb the ladder with Zayn on his back. Hardy climbed into the ring, still with the ladder cuffed to his ear, and Zayn uncuffed himself from Styles before cuffing Styles to the ladder. Zayn then used the moment with both opponents incapacitated to climb the ladder on the opposite side of Styles to grab the belts and win the titles. This was just a fantastic and brutal match with a fantastic finish It showed Zayn as a brilliant jerk, willing to do anything to get the job done. I also give this match an A. I know a lot of you guys loved this match, and so did I. Just brilliant. I thought Sami Zayn was excellent here. And then we go to this 24/7 garbage. Why wouldn't they get rid of this? I don't know. It didn't serve the purpose to begin with. This is more of a YouTube thing. Why they are putting this on live television? Get this off my TV. Okay, Mister. So, in case some of you missed it, R-Truth was walking through the backstage area. He walked into the referee's lounge. As he left, Gulak was doing lunges in the background, realized his opportunity, and rolled up Truth to win the title. Gulak was being interviewed about winning the title earlier in the night when Truth interrupted, hit him with the large metal bowl, and scored the pin to win the title. Gulak defeated R-Truth, and then later on, R-Truth defeated Gulak to win the title for the hundredth fucking time. Who knows how many he has now? If you want to put that stat in the comments, that's fine. And this is where it started to feel like Monday Night Raw. There's about 3 good matches out of this whole show. Asuka versus Selena Vega. Vega went after Asuka's arm early before the champion briefly took over. As Asuka followed Vega to the outside the ring, Vega took advantage by pulling Asuka into the ring steps. Vega remained focused on Asuka's arm, locking up the limb or driving it into the canvas at every opportunity. Vega came close down the stretch to scoring a sneaky pin after all her arm work, but Asuka slipped her into the Asuka lock to force a submission. After the match, Asuka called Vega a firecracker and offered some compliments. The Vega responded with a kick to get to the gut, an expected result, but a better than expected effort from Vega. As she looked very crisp in a well laid out match, Asuka defeats Vega. We all knew that was going to happen. Then another millionth time we've seen this match. Bobby Lashley versus Apollo Crews. Crews got off to a hot start using speed and agility to offset the power game of Lashley. Lashley countered an up and over in the corner to take over the offense. Lashley tried to run Crews into the ring post on the outside, but ended up being the one to go into the post instead, allowing Crews to go on the comeback, including hitting an impressive press slam on Lashley. After a standing shooting star from Crews, he went up top and hit a frog splash, but Lashley managed to kick out at 2. It only took one misstep from Crews, however, and Lashley was able to secure the submission with the hurt lock. Unfortunately, it's hard to get excited for Lashley versus Crews, or really anything involving Crews in the hurt business after weeks and weeks of seeing variation of the same match. They even have it on here. Still a solid enough in-ring effort. Lashley defeats Crews. What I tell you, the fans, Bruce, aren't the only ones noticing this. You got people from Bleacher Report, all the other major networks covering this are getting sick of the same thing over and over. Excuse me while I take a sip of my beverage. It's time to end these matches. Like, come up with something else. Don't use them. Well, they have a limited roster. They can't do it right now. Yes, you can. They're all there at the same building anyway. Just merge the shows together for now. That way you have different matches you can do. Right now, there really isn't a need for a brand split because there's no fans. So who the hell cares who shows up on what show? Make something different. Oh, speaking of making something different, the Street Profits versus Andrade and Angel Garza. Whoop-de freaking do. Angelo Dawkins exploded with a big dropkick after being briefly isolated. At the start of the match, Montez Ford followed up with a flip over the ropes into a dropkick of his own on Andrade. As Ford was about to get rolling, Garza grabbed Andrade from outside the ring after an Irish whip, pulling him out of trouble and tagging in to take over on Ford, showing their strengthening work as a tag team after Zelina Vega abandoned them. Dawkins took a hot tag and started to take over the match, but a blind tag led to Garza hitting a top rope Spanish fly on Ford moments later. That was really nice, actually. Ford took keeps of offense from the challengers before another hot tag to Dawkins, who hit a spine buster for the one even though it appeared clear that Andrade kicked out. It appeared Garza was hurt during the match, and the referee signaled that an injury occurred was generally ignored, leading to him having to call the end to the match despite the kick out, so that's probably why that happened. Generally a good match, but the finishing stretch was awkward as everyone tried to adjust on the fly, and it was not handled smoothly, though that's not anything to hold against anyone involved. Three Profits defeat Andrade and Garza. And Bailey versus Asuka, why this even happen? I have no fucking clue. Bailey came out to cut an in-ring promo after her match with Nikki Cross had been canceled. Bailey asked to be announced the winner by forfeit in the open challenge when Asuka came to the ring, and it was announced that an impromptu title match would take place. The action went outside the ring where Asuka dropped Bailey with a German suplex. Bailey then used a steel chair to hit Asuka, drawing a disqualification to allow her to retain her championship. As Bailey celebrated her brilliant decision, she was hit hard from behind with a steel chair by Sasha Banks. Bailey turned things around on Banks, who was still in a neck brace, throwing Banks into the ring and grabbing a steel chair. Banks kicked out at Bailey's legs before laying into her with several shots with a kendo stick. Bailey was able to roll out of the ring before Banks could hit her again with a chair, taking her title and retaining. This was a nice little segment after the Cross vs. Bailey match fell through. The match was nothing special, but Banks' attack was a welcome boost to the situation. Asuka defeats Bailey. Whoop-de-doo. Now we go on to the WWE title match between Drew McIntyre and Randy Orton. When was the last time this title was defended in the main event? I can't even remember. Usually I'm good with these things. If you guys could tell me in the comments below, I'd like to see like what year that actually was, if at all. I mean, even with Brock Lesnar, he didn't even main event the show. So McIntyre opened the match with a series of punches and kicks, taking the fight right to Orton. Orton went for an early RKO, but McIntyre defended before Orton used the middle rope to score a low blow. As McIntyre tried to re-enter the ring and then hit a hanging DDT on a champion, Orton lined up a punt, but his ankle was grabbed by Big Show. Oh, don't tell me Big Show's going to be on Raw tonight. I'm just sick of Big Show. He returned for the first time since Orton punted him months ago on Raw. Show chokeslammed Orton through the announce table. Show's interference allowed McIntyre to take over, attacking Orton and dragging him to the ambulance before lawn darting him into the side of the vehicle. Orton was able to fight back, attacking the injured jaw of McIntyre. The two brawled into the back of the ambulance before exiting, battling into the cab before McIntyre hit a claymore, knocking the ambulance door off. That was kind of cool. Orton and McIntyre battled into the backstage area before Orton was attacked by Christian. So we got to get all these guys on Raw tonight just for the ratings. During his reign of terror in 2020, the fight returned to the entrance area where McIntyre took Orton onto the hood of the ambulance, but Orton was able to slam McIntyre backward onto the windshield, the glass cutting McIntyre in several spots on his back. After Orton knocked McIntyre from the top of the ambulance, Orton was blindsided by sweet chin music from Shawn Michaels. Allowing Michaels to push Orton off the top of the ambulance, Orton fought back and was about to close McIntyre in the ambulance, but McIntyre was able to escape before hitting a claymore. As he loaded Orton into the ambulance, he stopped, dragged Orton partway out, landed a punt, and shut Orton in the ambulance to win. Ric Flair was then shown in his driver's seat, taking Orton away. The whole structure of the match was odd, with the various types of outside interference. It made sense in a way to have Orton pay for his sins, but didn't keep McIntyre strong in the end. Not bad chaos, but a little strange. McIntyre defeats Orton. So he's going to be the next biggest loser, I guess. I don't know. It's just stupid that they would build him up for so long just to lose every match against Drew. It's like, what's with these people? Roman Reigns versus Jey Uso. Uso and Reigns immediately locked up in a collar and elbow, with Reigns pushing Uso into the corner. The two then stared at each other down. Uso then started to try to use speed and misdirection to avoid the champ's offense, but Reigns quickly took back over, shoving Uso into the ropes and saying, "I told you." Reigns continued to dominate, cutting off every moment of Uso's attempts to come back before Uso landed a flurry of strikes ending in a Samoan drop for a 2 count. Reigns struck back with a big Superman punch, but Uso rolled out of the ring to avoid the count. Reigns continued to lash out, battering Uso and taunting him, taking chops and battering his cousin with massive punches. Uso made a hot comeback, knocking Reigns to the ring, hitting a suicide dive, and bringing him back into the ring before hitting a super kick for a 2 count. Uso reversed the spear into a pin for a near fall before he hit a super kick and top rope splash for a near fall, but Reigns kicked out also involved a low blow. Reigns began to demand Uso call him his chief and said, "Acknowledge me as your tribal chief." This is where it got good. After Uso refused, Reigns hit a spear. Reigns then held Uso's face in front of the camera, demanded Uso tell the world this is his camera, his WWE, and that he is the tribal chief. Uso responded, "Not today," frustrating Reigns, who told Heyman that all that mattered was Uso acknowledging it. Reigns then dropped punch after punch on Reigns until the referee pulled him off. Reigns told the referee not to address him again or he would no longer have a job. Jimmy Uso ran to ringside saying he was going to throw in the towel, but Jay told him not to do it. Jay begged him not to throw in the towel, so Reigns pulled him to the center of the ring and continued dropping punches until Jimmy threw in the towel for the finish. Jimmy said, "We're family. What the hell is wrong with you? You're the chief. You're the tribal chief. Just leave him alone." This was a wonderful brawl and really drove home Reigns' new heel character, character, establishing him as a remorseless monster who cares more about his place in the world than doing the right thing. Uso played his part wonderfully, working as the underdog and battling as the underdog, who had no real hope of beating his bigger, stronger, better cousin. Wasn't completely in love with the finish, but there's something to be said for Uso battering his family to the point where someone had to step in and make the decision to end things. Roman Reigns defeats Jey Uso. This also gets an A for me. Very, very good match. I mean, sometimes you don't have to have all the offense in all the action. They told the story the way they were supposed to tell the story, and I commend WWE on that. The problem is, excuse me one second. The problem is they're gonna be so focused on Roman's heel character that everything else is gonna suffer. You know what I mean? It's like they focus so much on one thing, and then they leave out the important parts of another. Much like Retribution, why are they there? Like Bischoff said, why are they there? There is no reason. Oh, they just want to cause chaos. It's not a reason. There's no inciting motivation. There's nothing. All there is just a bunch of yeah. And where was Retribution tonight? They weren't on the show whatsoever. Are they strictly Raw? I mean, that's a little odd, don't you think? For a faction to only be on one episode per week, no SmackDown, no pay per view even. Who else wasn't on that pay per view? Yeah, no Bray Wyatt. Could even make it to Clash Champions. And I swear, like, I bet he wishes he could erase even retaining that, regaining the title before Roman took it 7 days. That's just awful, man. That's just awful. But the thing they're doing with Alexa Bliss, that was really cool. I hope they keep going that route. But in a way, at least with this pay per view, they didn't try to have everybody on the show, so I can't complain in that aspect. It was for championships only. But they need to start developing more stars because if they don't, Drew's going to have nobody left to face. That's the problem with not building these stars after about 6 months ago. It starts to go stale. And then it's going to get boring, and then we're going to be like, okay, who's next? When's Drew going to lose the title? But it's not his fault because there's no fans, but just the way this company is booking everything. Like Bischoff said, you just take one guy from one side, take one guy from another side, and hey, let's have a match on the show. I guess not everything has to make sense, but it should to a point for the matches that you're going to have on your pay-per-views. And also, too, in a way, I'm kind of glad this whole show wasn't perfect. Because you fucking know Raw would have sucked. They would have put all their efforts in Clash of Champions. Raw would have been just a rerun of last week. Well, probably will still be anyway. We'll see the Hurt Business again versus Apollo Crews and Ricochet for the millionth time. I think they can't get enough of that match. They got to keep going and going and going and going and going. It's almost like they just don't even see anything other than past their nose, and it's terrible. This to me also is the worst I've ever seen this company, and that's just how it is. I expect Raw to get maybe a 1 point lower 6. I don't think they're gonna improve, even with having Big Show. That's gonna turn people off. Please God no. Please, I hope he's not on the show tonight. I really hope there's no Big Show. I mean, Michaels, I don't mind seeing, Christian, but not Big Show, man. I don't want to see that shit. It's like much like Braun Strowman. I run fast. So that's just my thoughts on that. That was 3 out of 7 for me. If you want my honest opinion, if I were to rate it out of 10 or out of the 7 matches, say each match was a star, 3 out of 7 stars. So that would be a grade of what, a C minus, typical WWE show. But I hope you guys liked your live Clash of Champions review, and not a lot of extra stuff going on. Raw will be back to its normal taping on Tuesday. I just wanted to see if anybody would actually come into the chat room. I see a couple of you, so I appreciate your support. Thank you guys so much. Leave a like or comment down below in this video. Also, if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. I'd really greatly appreciate it. And I'd like to do more live streams in the future. I think I set the bar too high for myself. Like saying, oh, if I don't get this many people, I'm not going to do it. So I think I need to just start like every little bit more often, adding these into the weekly content. But a side programming note, there may not be a SmackDown review because this weekend I'm going to visit my mom and my daughter for my daughter's birthday. And the connection there for the internet being out in the middle of nowhere is very, very slow. So I don't even know if I would be able to physically record it. And watch, I'll get some comments like, I'm not going to watch his channel because, I'm not going to watch his channel now because he didn't record SmackDown Live on Friday and he's trying to take it easy way out. I know. I'll figure out a way to plug it in. And if I have to, it'll be like just before Raw, maybe on Monday or even Tuesday. Comment down below if you guys really want a SmackDown review this weekend. I mean, who gives a shit about SmackDown? Because not all of us do. But if you really want me to say, hey, I'll wait a couple of days for your SmackDown review, please upload one. And I'll be like, sure, no problem. So until next time, guys, which will be in a couple hours for Monday Night Raw, I will be live tweeting with y'all. I hope you guys enjoyed this live stream. Sorry there's not a lot of music. It's just with the music. I'm finding my computer plays the music really loud. And then when I try to speak over the music, I barely hear myself, or I have to scream on top of it just to be able to, balance both sounds. But that's why in the beginning, I'm just like, no, I'm just gonna turn the music off. We'll save the music for Monday Night Raw review on Tuesday. So just one episode, guys. Don't worry. You'll get your other reviews with the music and all that. I just wanted to show you guys I'm not afraid to do a live review. If you want to see this again, please let me know down below. All right, we're hitting 25 minutes. I'm not going to waste any more of your time. Thank you guys so much for all your support. It really means the world to me, and I will see you back for Monday Night Raw.